I believe minimizing their phone usage.
Phone usage. How will you do that?
You limit. You can actually
set up
apps.
limits.
Yeah, limit
set up
on
limits.
apps so that they know I have 3 hours on this.
And that's it.
And that's it.
Okay. How about you, Tamsik?
I actually don't think we can actually control it.
Is it too late?
Yeah. I mean, technology is taking over
It's taking
already,
over.
so
There's not much you can do.
yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, you know, that one we can call it a self-discipline.
Self-discipline,
You know?
yeah.
Exactly, because you mustn't.
You've just stepped into An Empty Street, a podcast where you casually engage in difficult conversations about relationships, wealth, and health. We are just 3 curious gentlemen who ask questions almost about everything, and our aim is to find answers from others and within ourselves. We sit down every week to explore unaltered conversations. So let's walk the talk together, and welcome to the Empty Street Podcast.
What's up? What's good, everybody? This is the Empty Street Podcast, and you are tuned in to your new presenter for the day. I am Nceba, and you must be wondering, where is Chris, right? We don't know. Honestly, we don't know. But apparently, he's walking a different street. So we're out there looking for him. But in the meantime, you guys will have to deal with me, and we are on these streets trying to find out what you guys actually have to say about some of the topics we've actually covered on our podcast, right? What's up? What's good, everybody? This is the Empty Street Podcast, and we are still walking the streets of Sunnyside. And with me, I have 2 gents. What are your names, guys?
Smart
What are you-
Kings.
Smart Kings.
Yeah, that's the brand, but I'm Locomers.
Lime Flacco.
Alright. Nice to meet you guys. Yes.
I am Tumelo.
Hello. And
Hi, I'm Tabi Singh.
Tabi saying, thank you guys for actually giving your time and just letting us ask you these few questions. Samantha. Nice to meet you, Samantha. So the questions are basically just about smartphones and our use of social media, right? So my first question to you guys is, would you say, it's an individual question, right, that you answer individually. Would you say you're addicted to social media?
100%.
100%. And what are the apps that you would say you frequently like?
Go on.
Yeah, go on.
TikTok being number 1.
Yeah.
And then YouTube.
And how much time do you think you spend on average on both combined in a day?
I can say probably 20 out of 24 hours I'm on my phone on
Yeah.
YouTube or TikTok.
So a whole day.
I am always on my phone.
Very much.
And your smartphone.
Yes, I am.
You are. And how
Yeah.
about you? You are.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what apps keep you glued to your screen?
TikTok
TikTok. Just TikTok.
and Instagram.
And Instagram. And how
I'm
about
on
you?
Instagram Reels. I don't use TikTok.
Just
Instagram
Instagram Reels.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, bro.
You're addicted to your smartphone. And what about you?
I feel like everybody's
Everybody's addicted. Yeah.
to the phones.
True.
I
true,
can't
true.
even survive.
I can't
without
survive
a
without a
phone.
phone. No fucking way.
Even if I don't have data, you know, it's like I don't have a phone.
You have an
It's
itch,
like,
like,
yeah,
hey,
it's
data.
like, yeah, that thing, you feel me, bro?
Yeah, now I get you. So I'll ask you guys, what apps do you frequently use on your phone?
Number 1 for me, bro.
Instagram, you know.
IG, I'm probably on Instagram every day. Secondly, YouTube,
Yeah.
and let me see, etc.
Yeah.
But then mostly I'm always on and
Instagram.
Facebook.
Oh,
Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Those are your most frequent.
Yeah, those are my most frequent social
use.
media platforms.
And what about you?
Yeah, like
Instagram.
Yeah, but then TikTok,
Sometimes.
yeah, and there, you know, sometimes. Yeah, but then YouTube mostly.
Mostly.
YouTube and Instagram, yeah, mostly.
Alright, I get it. How do you think like social media affects our mental health as adults and that of like kids?
I feel like people do really get peer pressure out of social media. People now are forcing to live the type of lifestyle
They're
they're
seeing
not
on social
living
media.
because of social media. So I feel like it really contributes a lot,
So mental health.
yeah, in everybody, because like everybody's on some like, okay,
Yeah.
this and that. So I feel like that's how it is.
It is. Now,
I just think that social media is actually like putting our minds to think a certain way even though it's like unreal.
Yeah.
And like the moments that are taken are not as actually
As
real
real.
as we see on the phone. You know.
Social media does affect your mental health in terms of, for one, you compare a lot in terms of like self-esteem. It really does put down the self-esteem of many people. Like you go on Instagram and you see this baddie whose body looks like they're just made from perfection, and then you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, why do I have this budget and this girl
So you become
doesn't?
envious of that.
Yeah, you look at that. And also when you also do social media in terms of comparing. Still, when you look at other people who already are successful and they're doing well, or someone who already like who started at the same time as you, maybe let's say to do social media, but then that person suddenly fluctuates and gets 100k views within 2 months, and when you're working, but then you're not getting anything, and so you start to compare and you get into your head, you get very drawn into
that world,
and you get addicted, and it becomes.
And in terms of like kids, how do you think it affects kids?
Well, because social media lies a lot, and so kids look up to things that
Aren't
I
really
think are not real. Someone will tell you that it is normal to always look pretty, to like, you know, or some
like they
things
woke up like that.
Yeah, so some now they're teaching kids that it's okay to have an equal relationship in terms of relationship. I'm talking about teenage kids, in terms of relationship with your partner. Now they're looking up to that, which is not true. It's not true.
Yeah.
You know, they give kids expectations that are not real. They make kids look up to unrealistic expectations.
I believe it just affects 90% of our lifestyle, from food to what we wear to everything.
Everything. So
everything.
it conditions how we think, like what you were saying, right? And then do you think like there's ways of actually like safeguarding kids, especially because they're the people that get affected the most, and it affects them because we can at least filter things, right? But for kids that don't know how to filter what's right and what's wrong, what's real and what isn't, how do you think we should actually like safeguard them from like these kind of platforms?
I feel like that's the parents' job, honestly, because I feel like you should monitor your kids' screen time.
But don't you think that's them thinking they're parenting though? Because now that's what people do, right? When their kids are crying or whatever, and they don't want to be in that whole thing of, okay, I need to raise my kids, so they just shove them with the phone and like, now watch this, do that. And
it is wrong because your child will stumble upon things that they shouldn't be stumbling upon, you know, and
it's not right.
What are you asking? Is it wrong if someone gives their child a phone for TikTok? Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, you can give your child to watch some YouTube maybe, or depending on their age, whatever, cartoons or what, but like I feel like it should be limited to a specific number of like maybe 1 hour per day or something, you know.
I believe minimizing their phone usage a day.
Phone usage. How will you do that?
You can actually
set up limits.
Yeah, limit on apps so that they know I have 3 hours on this.
And that's it.
And that's it.
How about you, Tomsik?
I actually don't think we can actually control it.
Is it too late?
I mean, technology is taking over
It's taking over.
so
There's not much you can do. Alright, now.
Yeah, you know, that one we can call it a self-discipline.
Self-discipline.
Exactly, because you mustn't say you being forced, you know, to have this type of lifestyle while you saw someone
else live it.
Who's doing it?
You know, just be you, you know. If you be you, you know, you
You
won't
could.
have a problem.
Everything flows.
Exactly.
What flows. That's what I feel. Because, bro, I can say, like, if I see with an iPhone 12, you know what I mean? I'm in my, like, okay, Samsung A12. I'm like, yo, bro, is also some, like, quality phone. So, like, what can I do to get me this phone? At that particular time, I couldn't get it. So now I get pressure. Some other, that's why they leak now.
Yeah.
You get a phone, you leak, you jag people because you want to be like,
you want to be that.
like you. But, you know, I'm not you, I'm me. So, like, we just have to be ourselves and trust the process of everything. I feel like plus there's no way we can avoid social media because like 90% of people are making money out of social media. That's our lifestyle now. It's a new era. So I feel like goes that way.
Nah, I appreciate it, guys. I appreciate it. Thanks for those answers. Guys, thank you very much for actually giving us a few minutes of your time. Thank you. I'm not going to ask you any further questions. I have a lot to ask you, but I'll keep it short and just say thank you for your time. Guys, from me to you, you guys have already heard what the streets had to say about social media and its use. From me, I'm just going to say I'm signing out, and we'll meet on the next streets.
Yeah,
Peace.
you know, you must also check us out, you know.
Yeah. What are your handles?
Locomers on IG, YouTube. I'm an artist, I rap as well.
Yeah.
We also got our clothing brand, Smart Kings SA, on Instagram. All social platforms, you can just tag in those names. Yeah, we can get it done.
And I'm Lime Flaco, fashion designer, you know, the best and ever fashion designer. Yeah. So whenever you want to get us, Smart Kings, Lime Flaco, Locomers, you know, yeah, always in the streets.
Away. And we are all for the people that are on the streets. Yeah? Away. Have a good day, kids.
Thanks
Thanks again. Yeah?